Today we're going to talk about a new product that I'll be offering. We're going to call it a lift kit. It'll work on any Mid-America Cue Lathe, the basic or the pro. The problem that it solves is if you're using a quick change tool post with your lathe and a parting tool, carbide parting tool, you'll see that that's all the way back. So say I wanted to part these rings off from a ring billet. This is a 1.25 inch ring billet chucked up in the lathe. And I've got this guy pulled all the way back. And we barely have enough room to get to that. It's just really tight. Another thing that I like about this is you can see your jaws are awfully close to the bed. Probably got a 3/16 or 1/4 inch of clearance there. And your hand wheels, you've got this little small handle here. It's kind of tough to get to. You don't have a whole lot of clearance between the two hand wheels, especially if you want to order one of our oversized hand wheels. It's got a big knob, it's just a lot easier to operate. But if we put this, when we install this here, I mean, they're awfully close together. So the solution to this is going to be what I like to call a lift kit. So the lift kit, it's going to replace your top slide with call it a double stack top slide. It's actually adding a compound top slide on top. This new top slide is pinned to this top slide. It's got bolts in the four corners, and it only allows it to operate in a perpendicular motion to the lathe bed. It doesn't compound anymore, even though it started life as a compound top slide. Give me a second, let me get it, lay it out and show you what it is, what it looks like. Alright, first of all, you can see it has a much larger hand wheel handle. Measures about 2 inches long versus your standard one, which is about 3/4 of an inch long. Gives you a lot more to grab onto. But it stacks a new top slide on top of your existing top slide. And you can get this guy way back farther than your original one. You can see here, this is what I was talking about. It's pinned to the original top slide. The problem is when you stick this guy on your lathe, now everything is raised up this distance here, which is about 1 inch. In order to use this, you have to use these riser blocks. It comes with a set of 3. One will go underneath your headstock, one will go underneath the tailstock, and then you get a third one that'll go underneath your steady rest. We do sell these separately if you want to get one for extra steady rest or any additional accessories. If you have an extra tailstock or something, you can certainly do that. Give me a minute, let me get them set up, and I'll show you how to install this thing and what it looks like after it's installed. I like to start by installing the riser block underneath the headstock. To do this, we'll loosen up your headstock. Always hold some tension under the motor to keep the weight off of it from dragging the bed. We'll remove the whole headstock, slide a riser block on, lock it down just so it doesn't go anywhere on us. And your headstock will slide back under here, tighten it down. So now, earlier when we had about 3/16 of an inch clearance, now we've got 1 inch and 3/16 clearance because we picked everything up 1 inch. Next part, another riser block. We'll go under your tailstock, so we've got to pick everything up to the right height. So tighten this down. And of course this third one here. be for your steady rest, whichever one you choose to use in this situation. Lock it down. Now everything's back on the correct center line of the lathe with a lot more clearance. Now the trickier part, it's not really tricky, but a little more involved than those two. We'll start by sliding your carriage on, and we'll just advance this screw clockwise until the whole old top slide comes off the back end. And slide it out, take it out the way. Now at that point, we're not going to need this hand wheel anymore. This thing's just threaded in. To remove it, we got to remove this hand wheel. To do that, I like to get a set of channel locks. I like to put something to protect it so I don't scratch it all up. We're not going to need it again, but I still just hate to tear it up. We'll grab that. It's got a little Loctite on it, so give it a couple turns, break it loose. From there, just unscrew this. It's a regular right hand thread, so lefty loosey. Pull this whole guy out, throw it in a box, save it, throw it away. Whatever you want to do with it, you're not going to need it for this anymore. Just one note is it looks the same as this one, but it's not. The threads are actually opposite direction. One of them's a right hand thread, one of them's a left hand thread, so don't get the idea that, hey, I might be able to use this later here if I need it. All right, so now that we got our old hand wheel and old top slide off, we're going to take the new top slide. It's got the same gib setup as the regular top slide has. All right, now we have our carriage prepared for the new top slide. There's 3 screws on the bottom. The center screw is going to be your crossfeed lock. There's nothing in there to hold it. No screw, no lead screw nut. So slide it into position and lock it down wherever you want it. And now with this, you can come way, 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 way back. And if you need more, you can loosen this, come even farther back. And that gives you a lot of advantage if you're mounting a router on here, wanting to run it. You know, you can mount a router in the sideways position with a cutoff wheel to cut rings, parting tool on a tool post. Now you take the big hand wheel, put it in. You have a lot more clearance between the 2 hand wheels here. You've got a bigger wheel here, so a lot more comfortable to use. Everything's picked up, so if you've ever had something other than a pool cue you wanted to work on, you got more swing. Let me mount this tool post in it and I'll be back. I'll show you what we gained in that direction. I'll lock it down. I'll give you a little example of how far you can get this cutter back now. I mean, you can get it far enough back to cut on the outside of the chuck if you want. Got the added comfort there, big wheel, whole 9. It's certainly a worthwhile upgrade in my opinion. I've had one on my lathe like this for years, and now if I use somebody else's lathe or I'm putting a lathe together, it just feels small and miniature to me after getting used to this setup. One other thing to note is we've got a lot of customers that buy an additional top slide that they can pull on and off to keep your router mount or an extra tool post. If you do need an additional top slide for this setup, your original top slide is not the correct piece. You'll have to buy what's called our compound top slide. At that point, you can slide it off this direction towards you and slide a new one on for additional, you know, mounts, brackets, however you want to do it. This will be sold in a kit. The kit's going to come with the 3 riser blocks. 1, 2, third one for the steady rest. If you need an additional riser block, you'll have to buy it. Just do a search for riser blocks on our page. The hand wheel will come separately. We do sell this large hand wheel. We sell it with and without the pinion gear. I get a lot of customers that buy it with the pinion gear, but if you buy in this hand wheel to replace this hand wheel, it's simple enough to just save the money on the pinion gear, pull this one out, you know, one screw, and then reinstall it into the big hand wheel. So anyway, something new. Hopefully you guys will like it. Hopefully it'll make sense. As always, cuemakersupply.com, home of Mid-America Lathes. Like, subscribe, check us out on Facebook. We actually have a Mid-America Lathe group on Facebook. There's not a lot of activity in it right now. I hope to try to spark that and get some things happening, get some people talking, showing how they use the lathes, how, you know, different procedures. I always like to see everybody's idea on how to do things, because man, it seems like every time I talk to somebody I learn something new. You'll never know it all. There's a whole lot of different ways to skin a cat, and everybody has their own way. So anyway, thanks again. Appreciate all the support, and hopefully we'll have some more videos coming soon. Have a good one.